Hopefully y'all can see. Okay, my client is here. Um, of course the other live is still going. Why did it go out as soon as we got to talking about Sasha? Like what's going on? So that'll probably be uploaded later tonight, whenever it stops going. I'm not seeing this live. Is this showing up on my page? This live stream that you're on right now? You said I heard you say emotional and then it cut out. Okay. All right. Sasha, listen, cause what's tea? But no, when we got to talking about Sasha, I think that happened last time too. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish up, wrap this up, because the other live cut out. So they're talking about grieving. They're basically speaking on, you losing somebody that was important to you, which was your dog, Sasha. And you have the dogs here. This is just representing like a lot of chaos, like a lot of, just like a lot. And so they're bringing up like emotional withdrawal. So like he started talking, Oso started talking. He began basically saying like, put your energy into learning, but he's also saying like, don't neglect how you feel. Like don't like try to act like everything's okay. But he's saying pretty much like this is normal. Like it's okay to grieve. But this is another reason why he's emphasizing like writing things down, because he does want to make sure like you're you're like getting this out in a healthy way, and you're also not building yourself to a point to where you're ignoring like how you feel, because this is something like this is not something small. So he's saying it from like a perspective of somebody who had like a lot of pets as well. I even feel like he was the type of person like, even though he was a medicine man, he could work on animals too. Okay, because like here you have them like operating on a dog. So this kind of gives me like they tried to even help with what happened with Sasha. Like they tried to intervene, but it was just what had to happen. And it's painful, it's emotional, but they're basically saying take your time and grieve. Like don't push your feelings away, because this is like a person who's emotionally withdrawn, who's like praying to feel something. And so for you to be feeling something, that's a good thing. Of course it's not a good thing what happened, but it's a good thing to be able to express yourself. Okay? So I feel like the theme really is like mental peace, which gives me like a vibe of like, okay, a lot of people in your family are not mentally at peace with themselves, like in life. So I do think that they're basically saying like knowledge, sound, truth, healing, and being emotionally connected is what will help you get through what you're going through. So they definitely just added that in as far as like bringing Sasha up. She said they must really love me to even have tried to intervene and tell me it's okay to grieve. Yeah, for sure. They do. And these are spirits with lots of animals. So it's so crazy because your last reading they were talking about the animals and all of that stuff, but this really brings it full circle because they're basically saying like that's your calling. Like, so you're gonna have a lot of animals. So whoever you date or marry, they need to have animals. They need to either have a farm, they need to be into that kind of thing. So you need to get in some groups, like animal groups, local animal groups. Um, y'all have like cowboys and stuff down there, right? So get involved maybe with like trail rides or something like that. But this would be somebody that has animals. I think the last reading said like horses and all of that. But like a person with a farm would be good because they have different animals. But they're basically saying that type of stuff is healing. It's going to be healing for you. So he's even giving me, and I wasn't going to say this, But he is giving me the vibe of like, if you did want to go into like, not like technically being a veterinarian, but like if you wanted to go into like healing animals and that type of thing too, there's like a whole audience for that. There's like a whole, he's like, there's a whole lane for that. So I do get the vibe that this is what he did. Like, he wasn't a veterinarian or he wasn't a doctor. He was a medicine man. So he healed people and dogs and animals. So I don't know if it was like an energy healing thing or if it was he was actually like operating on them. But I do kind of see him like knowing how to do all of that. So he really kind of took over the reading. Which at the beginning I told y'all, I'm like, I see two people, and I promise y'all I was picking up a man and a woman, but I did not know what it was gonna be. But she came out first, and it's her dad. But he's her guardian angel, but she's your guardian angel. So they're like connected in that aspect. So yeah, but another good thing too, I'm seeing you like older in age, like being older, all gray hair, like being happy, being at peace, doing your shit, still on your spiritual path, like just like she's sitting under this tree, like she's putting out that energy into the world. She's putting out that vibration into the world. And they're saying that's how you fulfill your passion. Just putting out your good energy, whatever that is. Whether it be you healing people like her dad did, or like sharing stories or oral history like her dad did. All of this stuff is meaningful and purposeful. Okay? So she does like the hair in braids. She wants you to keep your hair in braids because she's saying like, and I have told somebody this before. Can't remember if it was you, but um, they're speaking about like your scalp being cleared, like not nothing being on top of your scalp because you need to be able to like think clearly and receive downloads. So it's funny because all of this is purple, which is crown chakra and third eye chakra. So this makes sense because both of those chakras are purple, and this is how she's appearing. She said, let me see. Shirley said, wow, during this time you do have to be careful with allowing your energy family to. I got that from what you just said. Yes. Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Because family, I hate to say it, but them be the worst ones sometimes. Because we have these attachments to people, and it's like, I think it's okay to help family, but they have to respect like the path that you're on. They have to respect those boundaries. They don't respect those boundaries, like you're not people pleasing anymore, bending over backwards, kissing no ass, then they can get the fuck on. But if they can be understanding of your boundaries, and if you say no, and that's that, and they got a problem with it, they can get cussed out or they can just get ignored. But I think you just got to be the one to stand firm on those boundaries. Like if you set a boundary, set it. And I think when it comes down to setting boundaries, you do that to protect yourself, okay? Like if you know you got a habit of like always having to go do stuff for people or run errands for people or whatever, just going out your way. Like I could see if, you know, if it's something that you know you want to do or it's like an obligation that you have to do, that's one thing. But when it comes to people just feeling entitled or feeling like, and they're not like let's say somebody's like trying to get you to take them places or whatever, they're not giving you gas money or they're not appreciative or this person's negative, they be shitting on you any other day, but now they need you. No, we're not doing that. So I think you have to set those boundaries when you need to. And they're specifically speaking on you because they're saying like you're grieving, but they're trying to give you like, this doesn't really give me generational curse, but we did say past traumas. So this is a trauma for you, like losing your baby. That's a trauma for you. And so this makes sense. But they're basically saying like there will be more animals. There will be more babies to love. She's speaking like on animals. Like Sasha's basically speaking on like animals. There will be more animals that will come into your life. And they won't replace her. But they will like give you that feeling, like that sense of like you're taking care of something. You're helping something. So I do think like either you're going to be with a veterinarian or you're going to be with a farmer or something like that. So if I was you, I would be getting involved with like local groups, seeing like seeing like who you can connect with. Might be some single, attractive people there. You just never know. She said, yes, we do have cowboys. You can give Reiki to animals. Wow. So that need to be something that you add on your list for sure. For sure. Like, got to. Because I didn't even know that. Akila said, wow. My client said getting braids on Saturday. Wow. Are they capped? Like, I ain't know that. She said, so true. My family be so entitled. I'm done with that. Listen, I don't be with the bullshit. I don't care who you are. Family, friends, foes. I don't care. Like, respect me, I'll respect you. But, like, don't feel like you're going to demand me to do anything. Because, like, no, we're not doing that. You know? So I think if people are respectful, if you're in the space, like, it's not out your way, or you're already headed to do something and somebody needs you to do something, that's fine. But if you just got in the bed, you rubbing your feet together, and somebody needs you to come do something and you don't got it in you to do it, girl, look at that phone like you didn't even see that message and go about your business. Okay? So even with this card, like that card that was showing like all the chaos, I do feel like that they're basically saying like, let me see where that card goes. They're basically saying like everything that was going on, like when Sasha was like still alive, it was just too much on you. It was too much for one person, and they've already told you this already. But it was too much on your shoulders. Like she over here falling, he getting blown back with the umbrella. He trying to pop the kids with the stick. The kids over here fighting. The dog's over here fighting for the bone. Like, it's just too much going on. Are you serious? She said she's done Reiki on an animal before. Like, that's crazy. So you done already did this and she's bringing this up? They're bringing this up? Are you for real? So that needs to be something you add. Like, what's the odds they keep talking about animals? Each reading keeps talking about animals. It's animals in all these cards. But you do have to bring it all together. Like, bring all the elements together. So the sound waves. You even need like a magic wand. Like when you're doing your Reiki, like you're probably moving your hands, but you need to have like a wand. Like here, like how she got in her hand. The wands I made are feather wands. They're kind of toe up now because I made them so long ago. This is clear quartz. And I drew some like tribal marks. And I have a red one too. So this is tiger's eye, black tourmaline, and what is that? Carnelian. So these are my wands, and you can use these like to smudge. You can use these to wave over people. You can use them to like wipe and clean your areas. You can do a lot with wands, but they're basically saying like they want you to draw some symbols on your wand. Oh wow. Congratulations. So she said, I'm definitely adding. I start Master Reiki training this weekend. I have a chakra wand I'm going to buy. Oh, I love those wands. Yeah, definitely get you a wand. Okay. And it's funny because look, whatever she's banging this drum with, it has feathers on it. I didn't even pay attention to that. So I had just showed you my feather wands. So this could be what you're beating with. So it can be a wand. It could also be like a... What what is it she trying to show me? This is like some indigenous kind of thing. So just look more into like indigenous, Native American, drum, and then you could put like something like with feather. Like you might even have to make this. You know what I'm saying? Because I had to make my wands because I didn't see any that like stood out. I did get one made from Etsy, which I still have it. I like it. I just like the ones I made more. I feel like anything you make yourself is going to be more powerful because you're like making it with those intentions. If that makes sense. So do you have any questions for them before we get ready to close this reading out? Because I feel like I've been yapping. Let me see. Did that video ever stop, y'all? The other live? Hopefully it did. Excuse me. No, it's definitely still going. But it'll go off later tonight sometime. It's cool. She said I might have to make a wine and include the feather. For sure. Like I had added like sometimes I add little feathers. Like this is one I found in the yard. It's a blue jay feather. I just added to like my succulent plant. But you can just add like feathers around like your space. But you can also use the feathers for wands if you can find one big enough, you know. Do they need anything or want anything on the altar? So let me ask them. So also, and Sharon, do you guys want anything to go on the altar for you? Anything that y'all would like to go on the altar for you? I'm definitely hearing water. On the altar for you. So they want some oranges. They're speaking on depression, so they want you to make sure. They want you to do like a spiritual bath and do like put oranges in the water, like cut them up in slices. This is gonna help on those days where you might be feeling like depressed. They're basically saying this is a generational thing. So when certain feelings or emotions come over you, those aren't your feelings, okay? This is basically what they're saying. Like they're not your feeling. This is like inherited trauma. And we know that this type of stuff is passed down genetically, like depression, anxiety, even like mental health issues. Like last night we were talking about on the reading last night, schizophrenia and stuff like that. But that stuff is like passed down. Okay? So yeah, Spirit is definitely just speaking on that. They want you to make sure like you're gonna be healing clients, even if it's animals too, like you have to be able to like cleanse yourself. So spiritual baths is definitely the way to go. They want you to do like the oranges though, like the orange bath. They're even saying like a little bit of rosemary in there. And they are speaking on your root chakra being underactive. So you could definitely do like a root chakra meditation outdoors pretty soon. I would do that as soon as possible. Spirit, anything that you would like her to leave on the altar for you? Bay leaves, water. Yeah, so as I suspected, so not rosemary but bay leaves. So they're saying you can put oranges and bay leaves in the water. I think this would be good because they're like super ancient, super old, and they were already talking to you about water. So yeah, they want you to do the spiritual baths. Like, they definitely want you to do. Let me see. They definitely want you to do the spiritual baths, and then with the water, make sure you leave them like actual water. You can leave them like a couple glasses. They want you to draw, like, these symbols are very important. So this is like the Eye of Ra right here. So they want you to look up like Egyptian symbols and like print that out, like the meanings of the different symbols, and they want you to just start drawing them. Drawing different symbols that you like. And I feel like that's definitely going to be something because they spoke on symbols a lot. Okay? You can even write them a letter because Oso was the writer. So he likes to communicate via writing. So you can write him a letter, thank him for the reading. You can write like both of them the same letter. Like just address it to both of them. Thank them for the reading and coming through for you. And also just, talk to him about like knowledge. Because he says he wants to share his knowledge with you, which is a lot of stuff, a lot of knowledge. Tell him that it's okay to do that. You want him to share. And, pretty much tell him like you're open to receiving that information. Especially with that book. Because he need, you know what I'm saying? If he was an author, we needs all of that. Because he said he wants you to write a book. Anything else that you guys want on the altar for you? I did get the no card first, but it came out with these. Anything else, Spirit? Okay, so I would say that is it. They're trying to bring up like other stuff. But yes, so water and then the spiritual baths. You can even leave them oranges like cut up. If you can't do the spiritual bath yet, just leave them some oranges. But I think that would suffice for sure. But this is your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully that other live go ahead and cut out pretty soon so we can have that replay to watch. This looks like the same man to me. Bald headed. Definitely. Little thumbnail picture. I don't know if I said this, but he's very like, also he's like a businessman. And I think that was his biggest, like he was a spiritual man, but he was a businessman. And I can relate to this, because like one thing about it, I'm spiritual all day, every day, but I'm about my money. So I feel like what he was emphasizing was really the part where he was talking about like being at that castle and just basically doing tough things. But it's like an emphasis like, I did what I had to do, and now I'm in a better situation. So it's like I went through all of that turmoil, and I went through all of that, like feeling like those spirits and feeling like all those different energies from being like at that castle and different castles. But he's also just like, I walked away from it richer. Like that's point blank period. Like he's about his money. Now I don't feel like you should do anything. This is just me. I don't feel like you should do anything that you're not comfortable with for money. But I think if you build yourself up enough, you build your energy up enough, you build like your tolerance up for dealing with spirits, because it does take time. Like it really does. Like that's not something you can rush. But once you build yourself up and your energy up to that point, like, go for it. You know, and you can even, when you write them a letter, you can ask them to send you different opportunities for you to, you know, understand more knowledge or get more knowledge and send you more opportunities, like money opportunities. Because I definitely feel like they're giving you an idea that there's so much more that you can do. That's not just surface level stuff, you know. So I think that's pretty cool. And then for him to bring up the animal reiki, like, I had no clue he was doing that. Like, what? No clue. Mr. Oso and Miss, what's her name? Sharon. Thank you guys for coming through for her. You guys may go back to the spirit realm. Goodbye. All right. Let's see. Let me read your comments. I'm sorry. She said, okay, I will get them what they have requested. I'm so grateful for them coming through. This was a beautiful reading. I just feel so loved and protected with each reading and ancestor that comes through. Shirley said it was beautiful. They don't play about you ever. They really don't. Like, she has somebody come through every reading. And it be new people. Like, it be new people every time. Like, I love that for her. And, you know, I like how you don't get overwhelmed by the readings. Like, you're open to what they have to say. And I feel like sometimes too much knowledge or too much information can be like too much of a burden to carry. But I feel like you're at a point in your life to where it's like, when they tell you stuff, it just applies different. Like, it just hits different. Because it's like, you at that point where you know, like, okay, I got to make a change. Like, let's make the change. Let's do it. Let's get to it. So, I love that for you. And I think that's what keeps a lot of spirits, like, wanting to come through to connect. Whew. But yes, those were some very powerful spirits. So I want you to do like some more research just with the Native American spirits. And I think you had put something like that in the group the other day that you wanted to explore that more. Yes, I agree. I agree, Shirley. And I think the fact that she's always so open and eager to like include them, like her ancestors, and to like get their advice and opinion on different stuff, I think that definitely makes it to where her spirits don't have a problem like coming through. Like, sometimes it can be like the same spirits that come through, but then other times, you know, you could have like a lot of spirits that come through. And that can be a good and bad thing, but you got to make sure like you're doing the cleansing, you're doing the protection work or whatever on yourself, because, you know, as you're healing these spirits, they're going to come through. Some of them not even going to be your ancestors that's going to try to come through. So you got to make sure when you're calling on them, you're leaving offerings, you're doing all this stuff, you're saying who it's for, and you're like putting a name on it, you know? Because there's definitely a lot of spirits that be coming through, not just human, but pet spirits. Them pets be coming through for her. I definitely want to explore that more. I heard we had Native American roots. Yeah, I think I had said that in one of your other readings too, didn't I? I believe I did. But if not, now you know. Oh yeah, it's gotta be specific. For sure. Got to. Because this is not a game. What we do, we gotta make sure we're protecting ourselves as well. She said the animals love me, even fairies. They do. The fairies is not nice. They like, we like her. They keep coming through now. if this was your reading, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to go ahead and hop off of here. Make sure you guys like this video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you're following me on TikTok and on Instagram. This is Juju the Master Manifester, and I am out. Shirley. Bye, y'all.